Hey everyone, it's Katie with Moonflower Moments. I thank you so much for being here. I am absolutely dog tired, so hopefully I can get through this video without too many stumbles. But I just finished my first week of teaching and I slept for like 12 hours on Wednesday and like 12 hours on Thursday. And I'm probably gonna go back to bed after I film this video, but I am just so excited to share some news with you and I wanna commemorate it with a video. So tomorrow I am going to be reading for the first time at a public event. So I've read for private clients before, but this is my first time actually doing a public event with a booth. And so I reached out to a sweet friend of mine who does this kind of thing regularly, and she's helping me set up tomorrow. I have a bunch of friends that are going to pop in just to say hey and support me. And so I feel I am completely ready on all fronts. And I went ahead and I picked out my tarot decks to use. And so I thought I would commemorate this with just a little show and tell of what I'm bringing tomorrow. Now, it probably is overkill for me to bring all of these decks because I have 10 picked out, but I would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. So I'm going to knock it out and get started and show you what I have. All right, so the first deck that I am going to pull is going to be my RWS. And guys, look, it's the King of Cups. Okay, so I'm getting excited because this is my signifier. Oh, I could cry right now with this. Okay, I love it. So clearly this guy wants to come with me. Oh, I love that. So I'm bringing the Centennial Borderless RWS. It's the only RWS that I have. I feel like it's appropriate to bring for these kind of events for people that maybe they've gotten a tarot reading before and they just prefer something that's a little bit more traditional, or even people that have never gotten it before that, they go into it with a certain set of expectations, and I want to make sure that I have the right tool to meet those expectations. But I actually really love the RWS, so I'm not mad at it. I think it's going to have a great place. This is my other signifier, so I'm happy to have her. I think with the RWS, I will probably also bring in my Chromata Emblemata. So though they don't perfectly match because of the color tones of this being more parchment and this being more yellow, I am talking about functionality here. And I think that the way that I use the Chromata Emblemata is as more of an oracle card, but I also use it to clarify spread positions between cards. So if I'm pulling, say for example, a past, present, future, I could pull the Chromata Emblemata in between the past and the present and the future, just to clarify the relationships between those areas. And so in that way, I'm bringing it as an essential tool, and I think that it can play nicely with other decks as well. So I'm going to pull these to the side. So I also think it'll play well with Influence of Angels, which is, I'll be honest, it's a weird choice for me to bring because I've only read with Influence of Angels a couple of times, which I know is perhaps bad thing to admit, like getting a deck and then just taking it out for the public when you've only read with it a couple times. Like, Katie, what are you doing? But I had a dream that I brought this deck last night, so I mean, I think that speaks for itself. So I'm gonna bring it, and I think that maybe perhaps there'll be a client there that is unused to tarot readings. Maybe they would find comfort in some of these more Christian images. Maybe there's someone who really likes history. I don't know. I'm just gonna let the deck speak to me. And if someone sits in front of me and it's clear that Influence of Angels was meant for them, then I'm gonna rock and I'm gonna roll with it. And if no one sits in front of me and I feel like a call for it, then that's okay. I don't have to use it, but I am gonna bring it because, I mean, obviously I dreamed about it, so I think that I should. You can tell how often I use them together, being that this was mixed in with it. I'm so bad about that. I think, I have decks mixed in with decks all the time because I don't remember to double check to make sure they're separate. Okay, so with the RWS and also the Chromata Emblemata, I feel like I just have a good base for everybody. And then the Influence of Angels, like I said, that probably is the deck that I would have never grabbed, but whatever, I'm gonna bring it and we're gonna see what happens. So there's another deck family that I want to share with you. So of course, because my name is Moonflower Moments, y'all have been here long enough probably to know exactly what it is that I'm into, and that of course is the nature. So I definitely want to incorporate that in, and so these are the nature-based decks that I'm going to be bringing with me tomorrow. Let's see if we can get them all on camera nice and neatly. Okay, so I have here on the far side here Slavic Legends, I have Terra Botanical, and then I also have the Faceted Garden. So I am definitely going to bring all three of these in because I feel like they best demonstrate my inclination towards nature. So that being said, the Slavic legends in particular, the foliage is just so lush and beautiful that I feel like if I had a client that happened to want a reading when it comes to nature, because I did put that in my bio for the event, that it would be the perfect deck to bring with me, that I don't have to use a guidebook for. I mean, it's pretty obvious here, like I can recognize most of these plants. Say for example, these cattails, can totally tell exactly what it is they are. It also has a lot of innate meaning for me, so I would be happy to bring that into a reading. Same with Faceted Garden over here. So the words are pretty generic to the garden. So I definitely have an innate understanding of lotus. I definitely have an innate understanding of gate. So it definitely makes sense for me to bring those. Now, Terra Botanical is the one that I'm a little bit nervous about. So I am a pip style reader a lot of the time. So this was my first deck that I ever got. So it kind of forms the basis of like who I am at my core when it comes to reading. So I feel like I need to bring it. But as you can tell, or if you haven't been able to tell already, I'm sure you have, this deck is still in order. So I actually have two copies. I have a personal copy and I have this private copy that I have never even shuffled before. And I've been saving it, you know, in case my original copy gets beat up. This has been like a really precious, like true backup. But I think that because Terra Botanical and I have such a deep relationship, I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't bring it. And I don't want to bring my personal copy, right? Like it's way too precious to me. It's way too beat up. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and break out the backup copy. And I know that kind of defeats the purpose of having a backup copy, but you know, if I'm going to read authentically for people, I want to make sure that I have the tools that allow me to do so. And bringing in these plants along with the pips, it just matches my style too much for me to avoid it. So I think that this will be my little deck family, and I think that I will go ahead and shuffle my backup copy of Terra Botanical. It's kind of big news for me. And if you want to see some of the majors, this is what they look like. So, like I said, never been shuffled before. That's why we didn't, they're all in order. But I think it's time. I'm going to break it out. So that's been decided. That's my big decision. And y'all, look how beautiful the box is for this one. So I love it. I might even keep it in the box when I go to read with it. Not because I'm being precious, but because my business cards are black and white, and so is my price list. So I feel like Terra will fit right along with that. All right, so what's next? I also have my sweet, tiny little Runic Odyssey. So I've been getting a lot of really good personal readings for myself with this deck recently. I think that the keywords are just so spot on, and there's just enough cards in the deck to where it feels like it covers enough topics, it covers big ideas, and so I'm definitely going to bring my sweet little clarifier deck, Runic Odyssey, with me as well. So here we go. Okay, and then I also wanted like another clean reader that was just more of like kind of like a base level for generic readings. And so if a client doesn't really seem like they would vibe with RWS imagery, I think that I would bring in my fifth spirit. So this is my friend. We read really well together. It also, of course, has these gorgeous pips that are just full of life. And so this very much describes my reading style, with the quartz being so vivid and then the pips being so emotive as well. And so I think that I like this deck because I could encourage a client to kind of step into the imagery with me. So when I'm explaining the interpretations, telling them, you know, imagine, for example, that you are in this situation and they have like this, I guess, like pile of sludge below you, like holding you together. But I think it's interesting too because we also have the purple echinacea here, which is a flower that I work with often, which is very well known for like its medicinal properties. So even though you're in the sludge, there could perhaps be someone that is extending that help to you. So I don't know, I think it's interesting. Because the pips don't have people, I think it's really easy for you to step into this world and step into this space. And so fifth spirit absolutely has to come with me. And then for the last tarot I'm going to bring, it's going to be my sweet zombie tarot. So if you've watched any of my videos, you probably know why I'm bringing this, but I will say once again, it's really great for interpersonal readings. So this is one that I would use specifically if a client had an issue that was related to some sort of social dynamics. This isn't just one I would pop out, right? Because the imagery is a little bit strange and it's a little bit weird, and we're not quite yet to Halloween time yet. But when I was making my list, I almost forgot this, and I literally just like, I shouted in like surprise, like, no, wait, hold up. I definitely need to make sure that I get this deck. So that's going to be my Zombie Tarot. And I'm also going to bring my kitschy ass Power of Surrender card. So these two usually play together. So while they do not aesthetically look very good, they're a powerful little pair. So they tell us here what's going on, and then here they give us concrete advice about what to do with it. So I think that this is just tried and true. And so for that reason, it has to come with me. So that's my last little pairing. So yeah, guys, I just wanted a short little sweet video. If you can think of anything else, or if you have any advice for me as I embark on my very first public reading journey, please leave it in the comments below, and I would love to hear your advice. So I'm just really excited to do this, and I'm also excited to commemorate this with this video. So I hope that all of you are having a beautiful weekend, and that you get the opportunity to have plenty of rest, plenty of play, and you just get to do what fills your soul. So thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate being able to cultivate this space, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time.